And okay, so hello, my name is Rossella, and we're gonna do a few games and activities. Last time I tried just doing the activity one after the other, and what I noticed is that actually people prefer if I explain a little bit how they use them or how they can be used. So I'm gonna do a little bit less things today, but with a little bit more talking around it. And I'm gonna start with something that is really simple and can be used in a million things. It comes from circus activities, actually. So if you bring your hands in front of you with both fists facing forward, and then you just copy what I'm doing. Seems so easy when I say it. Copy what I'm doing. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah? Oops, I just made a mistake. Ha. Very nice. Yeah? Okay, put it down. Put your hand up if it was incredibly easy and you just did it straight away. Nice, because it took me 8 hours on a flight to learn how to do it properly. So I had a lot of time to practice. Is thumb in one direction and little finger in the same direction. And then they come back and the thumb goes out and the other finger goes out. And your brain does all sorts of other things as you do that. Now, I use it to entertain children. So if I've got a bored child, I will show it to them and they can be busy with it for a long time. But I also use it with big classes to notice what happens to your shoulders and your neck when you can't do it or when you make a mistake. And sometimes I get people to do it in pairs, so one person does it and the other person just watch and observe what happens there. What's happening with the neck, with the head, what happens if there is a mistake. How do you giggle? Because when you get it wrong, we giggle. We giggle funny. It's not how you laugh. It's more a little half embarrassed, half social communication. It's not a big thing, but I may have got it wrong once. So it's quite nice. And then we're gonna do it again. And this time we're gonna do it with a little bit of help. So are you sitting or standing comfortably? Find your feet or find your sitting bones. Very nice and very comfortably. And wherever your hands are, notice just your fingertips. And let your hands come up in front of you. But they are very soft, very nice hands. So, you can wiggle your fingers, you can go, hello. And let your shoulders go, let your elbows slightly out. Lots of space for breathing under your armpits. And then you make fists, but they are very soft fists. Very soft, very comfortable. And then you think to your left, and you point to your left. Ha! And close. And then you think to your right, and you point to your right. And close. And left, and right. And left, and right. Soft neck, lots of space for breathing. Soft lower back. Let go of your buttocks, let go of your jaw, and let that go. Amazing, isn't it? And usually this is where someone that says, oh, I can't do it, there is no way I can do it, does it. And they're very pleased with themselves. There is also a thing that, you can move on with different bodies. So to me, it's quite easy to go very much out with my little finger. For some people, this is as far as they can go. It's just a question of flexibility of that little joint. Yeah. Now, if you imagine you're typing, you've got a laptop in front of you, so if you imagine you're typing, you can use this to show how, as your hands are in front of you typing, you can go that way, and as you go all the way to the side, you can feel a pull on your little finger there. Yeah? So when you're typing, if you move your hands, you're using your shoulders and your elbows quite nicely to do the work. But if you freeze them, This is a good example of how you need to go away from the camera. If you freeze them and then you type just moving your wrist joint, you will get pain on the long term. And it's that little part there that gets tense and overworked. Okay, so you can use that little game to entertain children or to bring someone who works in an office to consider what kind of flexibility they've got in their hands and how they use their shoulders or the elbows or the wrist to control the movement, and also how you react to be wrong. Okay, is there any question? If you have got a question, sorry, a little bit of etiquette. So if you like something very much, you can go, that is like clapping, like saying, oh, I like that. And this is sign language in Italian, to know what other countries do. And if you've got a question, you can put a finger up. Lovely. So I've got a question there. Hello, Debbie. Go for it.
Oh, hi. I play the flute, and what you've just did, I found that I could hardly move my little finger out to the left, because there's so much that goes on with the little fingers and things. So that was really good for me to realise how much tension had built up if you've played your flute for 2 hours. And then, you know, so that's a really nice wake-up message. So I was very surprised how I couldn't do it, really surprised. But anyway, it's just, yeah, from overuse of the, you know.
Yes.
Anyway.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very good for me to know.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna mute you again. And anyone else? Lovely. Okay. So this one is for, well, no, let's do it and then we talk about it. So if you touch your finger with your nose, and very, very gently, just the tiniest bit, you lean with your finger into your nose. Yeah. So you're touching your nose with your finger, or you're touching your finger with your nose. And just notice if there is any difference for you. If you touch your finger with your nose, or if you touch your nose with your finger. When I do that, to me, it's like the attention runs in a circle from inside to outside. Now, with the finger still there very softly, follow your finger left to right. So move your finger to the left and to the right, and follow it with your nose. It's really the finger that moves first, and the nose that follows it. Nice. Good. Now stop in the middle and move your nose away from your finger without moving your finger, just a tiny bit. So you're still in contact, but you're moving away from your finger. Ugh, smelly. And then turn your head again. Can you feel how much less movement you've got and how much stiffer your spine seems to be? And again, it's a lovely finger. You lean into it a tiny bit, or you go into the direction of a finger a tiny bit and move it first and follow it again and just enjoy the freedom of movement again. Nice. Okay. So as we are upright, we follow our eyes mostly. But animals, if you have got a dog or a cat in the house, they follow their nose quite a lot. They smell something and they go smelling and following with the smell. And when they don't like a smell, when there is something that they don't like, they kind of pull back. And that's how they put brakes on it. That's how they stop. Now, there is something about following your finger with your nose, touching it, that seems to free the whole of your spine. And there is something about pulling back that tightens all the joints. And then when you go to turn your head, it's clearly stiff. I use that explanation to help people to understand what I mean when I talk about forward and up, when I talk about the head balancing on the top of the spine. because it's not a movement, is it? It's not really like you're moving backward. You're there, and you think of going away from your finger, and it stiffens you, but you're not really moving back. So it gives you the idea that the forward is more of a direction than a movement of the head. That's quite useful with groups right at the beginning of their Alexander technique experience. And did anyone not feel the brakes coming up when they were pulling back? If you didn't, put your hand up. Okay, so we all had the same experience. It's interesting because I had someone who actually was so forward in their pause, in their habits, that when they pulled back, they were better. But it happens quite rarely. Okay. Any question? Nice. Okay. So we did something with the nose, and we did something. What's the first thing we did? Oh, nice. Yes, we did something with the hands. Thank you. So if you put your fingers on the bunny beat right behind your ears and you nod gently, yeah, that's pretty much the level of the top of your spine. Now, if you draw a line, you can find that that line goes right behind your cheekbones. So your neck is a bit longer than we tend to think. We tend to imagine that the neck finishes to the chin, but actually the neck is a bit longer. The spine goes a bit higher in the body, all the way up here. So if you imagine that you have got a paintbrush attached to the tip of your nose, and it's a very long paintbrush. Yeah, paintbrush? Choose something that you can see past your computer. It could be a tree if you have got a window, it could be a painting if you have got a painting on the wall. And with the paintbrush, that would be fun, with the paintbrush attached to the nose, just swipe first around the painting, and then inside, or first around the tree. And then, as if the paintbrush was a bit larger, just give it a big, so that it's all colored. Nice. Okay. So you were at the same time probably aware of your neck moving, your eyes following, and what you could see. Now, I find that often when we work on neck, head, and back, we get a little bit inside. We forget where we are looking. The eyes get a little bit glassy and we don't look at anything. And I really like how smooth and regular the movement is when you imagine that you're painting with your nose around something. I do this one often in pairs in a group, asking the person to stay in front of each other and paint the outside line of the other person. It's quite nice because we usually look at other people in the eyes or their face. So following the outer shape of another person is quite interesting and allows you to notice how and where you use your joints and how much your head and neck follow where your eyes are going. Okay, any question? Lovely. Okay, so this was the first one I wanted to do, but I forgot about it, so we're gonna do it now. So if you cross your arms and you cross them as you normally do, and then if you look at the screen, you can see that we all do little different things. In my case, you can see a little bit of fingers here. With some people, you can see a hand or you can't see anything. But there is always one arm above and the other one below. So notice which arm is above. Mine is the left. And cross them the other way. I've been doing this for a long time and it still feels wrong or weird when I cross them the other way. Okay, so go back to normal again. And it feels like I've got space for everything. And cross them again in the wrong way. Yes, and let that go. So a simple version of this one is just putting your fingers together like that, and then doing it with the attachment in the other way. It feels wrong. Yeah? See, can you see it? One feels normal and the other one feels weird to most people. Yes, good. Okay. So they are both a good way to explain habits or to show habits. And the fact that whatever we do all the time feels normal, and what we never do in a certain way feels wrong, not just different, wrong. And it's interesting asking people to look around as they cross the arm in the wrong way, because you know that everyone else is feeling as wrong as you are, but they all look normal. So it's a way to work on perception, habits, and it's usually a good one to get a giggle out of people. People will have a little giggle about it. So it's a nice one to break the ice in a big group and to explain something that to most people who have done a lot of Alexander technique is obvious, but can be new for people who haven't done any of it before. So habits. Okay. Now, I haven't done this in this way, so we'll see how it works. Okay, now, again, find your sitting bones or your feet, and we are going to take a nice breath. And when we breathe out, we are going to count to 10 out loud. I can't hear you, so it's for you. So you breathe in, whatever way you normally breathe in, and then as you breathe out with that breath, you are counting to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had a lot of breath left at the end of my 10. So I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to count twice to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still had a bit, so I can probably do it 5 times. You do it with me, don't let me do it by myself. Okay? So this time you breathe in and you breathe out and you count to 10 3 times in that one breath. Okay? Ready? And off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had a tiny bit left. Yeah? Okay. Who didn't make it? Good. Then, did you make, you got to the end? You didn't have enough for 3. Okay, 2 people. Okay, count faster. We're gonna do it again. And this time we're gonna do it 4 times. Okay? In one breath. And when you're ready, and here is where I start little tricks. So I'll go, I'm gonna find my sitting bones. I'm gonna let my shoulders go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. It was enough. It was a better breath than the first 3 I took. Have you ever done a whisper R before? Put your hand up if you have done it. Okay, so whisper R is a procedure in the Alexander technique. It's just about breathing in and letting the breath come out in letting your mouth open. I've done a lot of it, so when I think whisper R, I always take a nice breath that is a bit wider, a bit more oxygen, more air than I do normally. So that's how I get to 4. And now I'm gonna ask you to do it one last time, and this time you count for yourself and count as many as you can in one breath, count them with your fingers, how many times you can count to 10, and go as fast as you can. Doesn't matter how you say it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 7, 8, 10. Okay. How did you go? Put your hands up. I had 7. 5, 7, 10. Oh my God. Good. Okay. So it's a race. It's fun. It works beautifully because as you compress and get in the game, in the race, you get less because you tense. But as you relax and you let go and you direct, you get more. So it's really a good example of as you do less, you get more. And as people have got lots of habits around breathing, but they get very distracted with the counting, you find that the focus goes on the out breath. Now, mostly when we work, I mean, again, I'm no expert, but in lots of environments like yoga, Tai Chi, often the attention is on the in-breath. And in this one, you kind of focus on the out-breath. There is also a scientific thing that I don't understand that gets triggered in your brain when you challenge yourself. It's like, because you're counting and you are having a little race with your brain, you do a bit more than you would normally do. And there's a study with people with emphysema using this trick and finding that they could train themselves to recover a little bit of the use of the lungs. I wouldn't know more than this because it's literally someone told me about it. Okay, is there any question? Yep. I'm just gonna add that I use this one often in one-on-one lesson to get people to be aware of what they're doing with the breathing and with their voice. Okay, Debbie, go for it.
I just want to, I think what you've said is extremely relevant, but I mean, from my own point of view, you have no voice either, you know, singing or as a wind player,
yeah,
unless you take air in. So
yes.
I suppose for a wind player, maybe not so much for a singer, you do in a way have to disrupt the normal breathing process. So I think breathing out is great, but you know, we cannot start like you're doing now. So maybe I think both are kind of relevant.
I didn't mean one is more important than the other. Sorry,
no,
sorry.
no.
I didn't mean that.
It's just, I think that sometimes it can get over, you know, the whispered R, but I think maybe, yeah, you have to breathe out to breathe in to start with. So maybe, yeah. Okay, I've answered my own question, so move on. Just answer my own question.
It's always a collection. So I love to have 10 about how you breathe in and 10 about, you know, I've got one about breathing in that is as simple as you're sitting there or standing there, notice that there is a space right behind your nose. It gets a bit cooler when you breathe in. Take a couple of breaths, really noticing that space getting cooler. It works, doesn't it? It allows you just the focus on that spot, makes you breathe huge, but without triggering whatever is the things that people think they have to do in order to breathe in. So I probably would always put them together. I would always put the counting out as many times as you can in a breath. And is useful because your brain gets the challenge, so breathes in as good as it can do in order to have a lot of air and time to counting as it's counting out. Okay. There was someone else who wanted to say something. Yes. Hello, Poppy.
So, cool. No, it was only just to do with what Debbie said, which is just that your exercise of kind of doing a little bit and then doing 2 rounds of it and then doing much longer reminded me a lot of a way that a horn player had worked. Renee Allen, she's Alexander and horn player, which was something that she'd found in like a Baroque treatise where you play 1 note from where you are and then you let just enough air come in and then 2 notes. So you build up the whole phrase in this way, and just the way of building up the counting seemed very similar to me.
Nice.
And that starts off, how she was teaching it with the thing from the treatise was to not take an air to start with, but
Yes.
just letting out a little, but you have enough from where you are to play 1 note.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just interested.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Again, I'm really hesitant to say what the things are for, because I deeply believe they can be used for, you are a teacher or you are a practitioner and you have got a lot of knowledge. So you can take any of those activities and use it for anything. You can use it to teach lots of different things. The same thing that I can use to teach a direction, someone else can use to teach mindfulness, or to teach to be calm, or to teach a bit of anatomy. So I'm always, we wrote the book in a way that doesn't tell what to do with the activity, and it was a bit of a fight about it, because you really have to inhibit a lot not to tell what, this is the thing, and you use it as you want. I'm adding a little bit of examples just because it seems to make the thing a little bit clearer, but sometimes the people will say, oh, I would use it for this, and I go, oh, that's so much better. So honestly, I'm learning with you. Okay, now that was exactly 30 minutes, so thank you very much for coming. That was fun. I really enjoyed it. If you want to stay another 2 minutes, we have got another few minutes on the Zoom call, so I'm going to stop the recording.